Have you ever wondered why overthinking is considered such a bad thing? Well, a samurai more than 300 years ago might have just answered your question. Miyamoto Musashi, the samurai who never lost a duel and was a master strategist, wrote The Book of Five Rings, where he detailed how to approach life and battles. He had a lot to say about overthinking, and in this video, we'll explore how his teachings can apply to our modern life and how overthinking can actually be a superpower contrary to popular belief. But before we jump into his teachings, we first need to briefly understand who Musashi was. Miyamoto Musashi was a legendary samurai and master swordsman from Japan, undefeated in 61 duels. Beyond being a warrior, he was also a philosopher and artist. His book, The Book of Five Rings, outlines his insights on strategy and life, offering profound wisdom from his experiences. So he is a person worth learning more about. For many of us, overthinking means getting stuck in a loop of thoughts, often leading to inaction or anxiety. But Musashi saw it differently. He believed that having clarity and purpose in actions was crucial. Instead of getting lost in too many details, he focused on what truly mattered in each situation. Musashi often talked about seeing beyond the obvious. One of his famous quotes, "Perceive that which cannot be seen with the eye," is a perfect example. He believed that intuition was important, like that gut feeling or instinct that helps us when we don't have all the answers. This idea can be a powerful tool for those of us who tend to overthink. Rather than getting lost in endless thoughts, Musashi's teachings suggest we trust our instincts and focus on the essential parts of our tasks or decisions. Now, how can we apply this to our daily lives? Start by recognizing when you're overthinking. It's like when you catch yourself spiraling into a cycle of what ifs and maybes. That's the moment to step back and refocus. Ask yourself, what's the most important thing right now? What's the main goal? By narrowing down your focus, you can cut through the noise and take clear, decisive actions. For instance, imagine you're preparing for a presentation and you start worrying about every tiny detail. Instead of getting overwhelmed, remember Musashi's advice. Focus on the key points you need to communicate. Trust your preparation and intuition to guide you through the rest. This not only helps reduce stress, but also keeps you grounded and purposeful in your actions. Musashi didn't just focus on physical skills, he also worked on mastering his mind. One of the critical practices he used was meditation. For Musashi, meditation wasn't just about sitting quietly. It was a way to harness the power of his thoughts and channel overthinking into productive paths. This practice is closely linked to Zen Buddhism, where meditation, or zazen, is a central part of the philosophy. It helps practitioners find clarity and peace by focusing on the present moment. Meditation can be a powerful tool for managing and utilizing overthinking. When our minds are racing with thoughts, taking a few minutes to meditate can help us direct those thoughts more effectively. It's like hitting the pause button on your thoughts, allowing you to step back and see things from a fresh perspective. This can turn what might feel like a flood of thoughts into a focused stream of productive ideas. To incorporate meditation or mindfulness into your life, start with just a few minutes each day. Find a quiet place, sit comfortably, and focus on your breathing. If your mind starts to wander, gently bring your focus back to your breath. Over time, this practice can help you develop a more peaceful and focused mind, turning overthinking from a burden into a powerful tool for clarity and insight. An excellent example of how meditation can help is when you feel overwhelmed with schoolwork or job tasks. Imagine you have a long list of things to do and you're starting to feel anxious. Taking a short break to meditate can help you calm your mind and prioritize what needs to be done first. This approach not only reduces stress, but also makes you more productive and focused, demonstrating how overthinking, when managed properly, can enhance your productivity. Books like Zen Mind, Beginner's Mind by Shunryu Suzuki, and The Miracle of Mindfulness by Thich Nhat Hanh talk about the benefits of meditation and mindfulness. These practices can help you turn overthinking into a source of strength and clarity, just as they did for Musashi. Now that we've touched on meditation and mindfulness, let's talk about another critical aspect of Musashi's discipline, his ability to enter a state of flow. In combat, Musashi was known for his incredible focus. This wasn't just about being attentive. He reached a state where overthinking was transformed into a powerful tool that helped him stay fully immersed in the moment. This state is often referred to as flow. Flow is that feeling you get when you're so absorbed in an activity that time seems to fly by. You're not bogged down by every detail. Instead, you're using your overthinking to fine-tune your actions and reactions. For Musashi, this happened naturally during combat, where his training and instincts took over. He wasn't caught up in worrying about what might happen next. He was fully present, using his heightened awareness and mental clarity to react swiftly and effectively. To experience flow in your own life, find activities that you enjoy and can fully engage in. It could be anything from playing a sport to working on a creative project. The key is to choose something that challenges you but isn't so complex that it causes frustration. When you're in flow, you're not stressed about the outcome. You're just deeply engaged in the process. This concept is similar to what many people describe as being in the zone. Whether it's athletes on the field or artists in the studio, being in the zone allows you to perform at your best, leveraging your overthinking to stay sharp and focused. Just like Musashi, you can use this state to improve focus and reduce stress. So by finding your flow activities and practicing them regularly, you can tap into a deeper level of focus and presence. It's all about turning overthinking from a hindrance into a superpower, letting go of unnecessary worries and immersing yourself fully in the task at hand. While Musashi was a master of staying in the moment and finding flow, he also understood the importance of balancing reflection and action. This is a critical lesson for overthinkers. Musashi believed in the power of careful planning and reflection. He often spent time strategizing before engaging in combat. However, he also knew that endless planning without action could be just as harmful as acting without a plan. In our lives, we often get stuck in what's called analysis paralysis. This happens when we overthink and overanalyze every possible outcome to the point where we never actually make a decision or take action. Musashi's teachings remind us that while reflection and planning are essential, they must lead to decisive action. Overthinking can be beneficial when it helps us prepare and strategize, but it becomes a hindrance when it prevents us from moving forward. To find this balance, set a specific time limit for planning and reflection. Once that time is up, commit to taking action. This is particularly helpful in situations where you feel overwhelmed by the number of choices or potential outcomes. By setting a clear boundary between thinking and doing, you create a structure that allows you to move forward with confidence. For example, imagine you're working on a project and you spend hours planning every detail, fearing that you might miss something important. At some point, the planning becomes a form of procrastination. By setting a deadline for your planning phase, you force yourself to transition from thinking to doing. This approach mirrors Musashi's adaptability and readiness to act, which were crucial in his success as a warrior. Consider the story of a friend who was launching a new business. She spent months researching and planning, wanting everything to be perfect before starting. Eventually, she realized that she was stuck in a cycle of endless preparation. By setting a firm deadline to launch, regardless of whether everything was perfect, she finally took action. This decisive step not only got her business off the ground, but also taught her valuable lessons she could never have learned through planning alone. Musashi's life and teachings show us that while it's essential to prepare and reflect, action is where real progress happens. By finding a balance between thinking and doing, we can harness the power of overthinking to prepare effectively and then move forward with confidence. So set your plans, but remember to act on them, adapting as you go. This balance is where overthinking turns from a liability into a powerful asset. Following Musashi's teachings on balancing reflection and action, another vital aspect of his philosophy is the embrace of imperfection and the importance of learning from mistakes. Musashi understood that perfection is an illusion and that striving for it can lead to unnecessary stress and overthinking. He believed that each experience, whether it resulted in success or failure, was an opportunity for growth and improvement. Overthinking often arises from a fear of making mistakes. We get caught up in trying to anticipate every possible error or flaw, which can paralyze us into inaction. Musashi, however, saw mistakes not as failures, but as essential steps on the path to mastery. This mindset allowed him to continually improve and adapt, even after setbacks. Musashi's numerous duels, over 60 without a single defeat, weren't just about winning, they were about learning. Each encounter taught him something new, whether it was about a technique, strategy, or even his own mindset. He didn't dwell on mistakes, but instead used them as valuable lessons. This approach is crucial for overcoming the fear that often accompanies overthinking. To apply this mindset, start by reframing how you view mistakes. Instead of seeing them as failures, view them as learning opportunities. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? And how can I improve? This shift in perspective can reduce the fear of making mistakes and help you approach challenges with a more open and constructive attitude. It's also important to be kind to yourself when things don't go as planned. Remember that everyone makes mistakes, and it's a natural part of the learning process. This self-compassion can help you recover more quickly from setbacks and prevent the cycle of overthinking that often follows a perceived failure. Think about Musashi's duels. Each time he faced an opponent, he learned something new. Even if he made a mistake, he didn't let it define him. Instead, he analyzed what went wrong and adjusted his strategies for future encounters. This continuous learning process not only made him a better swordsman, but also a more insightful strategist. In our daily lives, we can apply the same principles. For instance, if you make a mistake at work or in a personal project, instead of beating yourself up, take a step back and assess what happened. What can you learn from the experience? How can you do better next time? This approach not only helps you grow, but also builds resilience, making you more capable of handling future challenges. Embracing imperfection and viewing mistakes as opportunities for growth can transform your mindset. It frees you from the paralyzing grip of overthinking and allows you to move forward with confidence. Just as Musashi learned from each duel, we can learn from each experience, making us more robust and more adaptable in the process. Musashi's teachings show that overthinking can be a strength when paired with clarity, action, and a willingness to learn from mistakes. Embrace these lessons to enhance your focus and productivity. If you want to dive deeper into Musashi's wisdom, check out my other videos on his life and philosophies. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more insights. Thanks for watching.